Good morning, friends. Today in this session on the paper Strategic Financial Management, I, CA Ashish Gupta, Deputy Director Board of Studies, welcomes you all. As you know that in this session, in this classes, we are on a hybrid mode where uh, we have uploaded the recorded lectures, and then you are requested to go through them. And after each topic, we are conducting the revision class, plus we shall take your queries. So students, in addition to that, there was one assignment we have got uploaded regarding money market instrument, because it is also a part of your bond value, you can security valuation. So today we shall also discuss the same assignment. So student, we start with our session. Now, I'm just quite quickly, I am repeating the same, revising the same, whatever we have discussed in our earlier class. So when we talk about the fixed income securities, normally two things comes into the mind. First of all, that is called bond. Another is your money market instrument. Now, what is we mean by the bond? Bond, basically, the P tenure is normally 3 years. And in case of money market instrument, duration is normally from 1 day to 1 year. Normally, this kind of a thing. So this is the basically criteria of the, we can say it is a kind of a base, because whenever we talk about the bond, normally we always should remember that it is basically kind of a fixed income securities. So now let us move. What are the features? We have discussed about the features of the government bonds. So all I am not repeating here, because already you have gone through the when we you have referred our lecture. Now, when we talk about state bond, normally what happens? State bonds are normally covered the, you can say they are got the feature by the coupon payment and bullet repayment. Bullet repayment means normally they are written, money is written in a one go. Students are saying good morning, welcome student, good morning. It is Kaushiki, Viraj, Janvi, Namarta, and Mansha. Very good morning, beta. And so let us start. Now, when we talk about another, we have discussed about like floating rate bond. What we mean by the floating rate bonds? It is basically when our interest is not fixed, but rather it is, you can say it is a link to some benchmark rate of interest. So it can be MIBOR. Now MIBOR and LIBOR is no more. It can, you can say bank rate, or it can be prime lending rate, or it can be repo rate plus some basis point. If you recall that I have discussed there basis point. Basis point BPs means 1 divided by percent. It means 0.0.1 is percent is equal to 1 basis point. Okay, so whenever we talk about 1%, it is equal to always 100 basis point. So all that we have discussed there. Now the next we have discussed bond with the embedded features. Now bond with embedded feature normally comes out with, say, convertible bonds. Okay, then we have covered convertible bond. In addition to that, we have discussed, say, callable bonds. Convertible bonds means they give the right to get the converted share debentures or the bonds into the equity share. Now next is puttable bond. Okay, next is foreign currency convertible bonds. This is where the bonds are in a foreign currency. And there is another term we have discussed, masala bond, because they are denominated in rupee, but they are issued to outside India. This is a new term, and that has been recently come out, and it is very now popular because I think 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 companies already issued the same. Sir, I have a doubt regarding following zero coupon bond having a face value of 1 is. Janvi, just I take your call. AC देखा मैंने. AC. नहीं कितना टेम्परेचर? कम. हाँ कल गर्मी लग रही है बहुत. Janvi, I will take up your query. Just let me in the break. I will go through the same, then I will discuss. Don't worry. Just let me continue the same. Bhaskar Gonda is saying, good morning, beta, good morning. So we have discussed these features there, and then we come to the another feature. 1 second. These are normally types of the bonds. Then we have come discussed the features. In features, we have discussed the bullet repayment. Then there is a amortization. Shed light maybe. Amortization feature. What we mean by the amortization feature means. Namarta is saying, sir, I have not attended the recorded. No problem, student. You just continue to attend this session. When after the session, you can refer the same. Then you will get our know about what we have discussed. Don't worry. Continue to attend this session. Amortization feature means here a principal also repaid along with the interest, along with coupon. It is a unique feature. So, and next is there is a one category we discuss as junk bond. Okay, because company, this is a company which does not have any proven track record. So normally whatever they issue, this is called junk bond. These are normally companies which have a, you can say, we are there next to, we can say, this is a very, it carries a lot of risk. Whoever invests the money, take a very, of course, sometime it may possible that the company may come out well and the value of the bond can increase. Then terms to maturity, when we talk about the terms to maturity, here the term comes term structure. Like what are a yield curve, we can say that. Now next is category is like we discussed perpetual bond. Perpetual bond means normally they are never redeemable. So if you recall in your intermediate, normally we used to calculate the formula KD. So this is a kind of a irredeemable. Now when we talk about the pricing of the bond, here we can say it is just like a capital budgeting analysis. And here what happens, YTM has been given to us, and according to this YTM, that is, you can say it is the expectation of any debenture holder or investor from the company's bond. So we discount the cash flows related cash flows, we can say, with this discount rate, with this YTM. And ultimately we get the justified price of the bond. This is called your straight value. And we can also say that when we talk about the convertible bonds, we call it as a floor value. So this is how we compute the value. And next is that's why the normally the formula is used. I vary from, or we can say T vary from 1 to N plus this is okay. So it is kind of a periodic payment. It is kind of a terminal payment. By this, we come to know terminal value. Now, very important point here, student, there is that is 0.106.9, and if it is the value is 93, then it is if the yield is 10, then it is sold at 93. स्टूडेंट्स जैसा कि बॉन्ड वैल्यूएशन की जब हम बात करते हैं, सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट आता है बॉन्ड वैल्यूएशन में कि आपने जो भी वैल्यू एक तरह से आप निकालते हैं उसको कैपिटल बस्टिंग एनालिसिस के थ्रू निकालते हैं. नाउ क्वेश्चन राइज कि हम किस रेट पे हम उसको डिस्काउंट करें. सो ऑफ कोर्स जो हम डिस्काउंट करते हैं वो हमारा आता है वाईटीएम के बेस पे कि हमारी यील्ड एक्सपेक्टेड कितनी है. अगर आपको याद होगा जब हम उसको इंटरमीडिएट लेवल में केडी या आईआरआर निकालते थे, जब हमें बॉन्ड का इंटरेस्ट दे रखा होता था और प्राइस दे रखी होती थी. अब यहाँ पे क्या है, हमारे पास प्राइस मिसिंग है. Student, please not, whatever I will speak in Hindi, I will also repeat in English. So student, don't worry. Student who can't understand the Hindi, please don't worry. Whatever I will speak in Hindi, I will repeat in English. Now, student, please recall at your intermediate level when we used to compute the KD. So there KD, we normally have been given the prices. Okay, we have been given the coupon payment plus coupon plus principal repayment upon 1 plus KD. This value we used to, if you recall that, we used to calculate like it is 3, it is 4, it is KD, here it is 3, sorry 2, here it is 1 plus KD raised to power 1. So here our value is, this was not aware, and we used to calculate this value. And we have been given this value. Now here what is happening, this is our YTM because we used to calculate it by trial and error method. Here we are provided with YTM and what is required, P. So this is a kind of a capital busting, some similar to capital busting exercise. One minute, check me, video paused. Okay. So it is a kind of, so now what I am showing to you, स्टूडेंट इस बात को देखिए आप यहाँ पे कि जब डिस्काउंटिंग रेट, अगर आपका मान लीजिए कूपन रेट और वाईटीएम आपकी 8% है, दोनों ये वाईटीएम है, तो जो आपका वैल्यू रहती है बॉन्ड की वो पार वैल्यू या 100, जैसे हमने एक एग्जांपल लिया था उसमें 100 है तो 100 रहेगी. अगर मान लीजिए आपकी वाईटीएम 86% है तो ऑफकोर्स जो आपका बिकेगा वो प्रीमियम पे बिकेगा बॉन्ड. और अगर आपकी वाईटीएम 10 है यानी कि वो आपकी कूपन वैल्यू इज लेस देन योर वाईटीएम, दिस इज द केस, तो आपका ये डिस्काउंट पे बिकता है. एक्सेप्ट आपको याद रहना चाहिए क्लियर कि एक नॉर्मली आपको इस बात में क्लैरिटी रहनी चाहिए कि भाई किस तरीके से हम वैल्यू कर सकते हैं. नाउ इट मस्ट बी क्लियर टू यू. नाउ आई एम नेक्स्ट डिस्कसिंग एक वन अदर पॉइंट वी हैव डिस्कस, इट इज रिगार्डिंग कोटेशन ऑफ बॉन्ड्स. ओके, प्राइस कोड आर जनरली गिवन लाइक, जो प्राइस कोड इसका दिया जाता है वो इस तरीके से दिया जाता है. Now it is a say par value. So student, now you see what is the prices. So normally what we do, it is like a denominated on the basis of assuming 100 face value. जनरली अगर हम याद देखें तो प्राइस जो कोट करी जाती है वो ये मान के करी जाती है कि फेस वैल्यू 100 है और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ये एक प्राइस कोट कर दी जाती है. इसको अगर हम डेसिमल पॉइंट में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, इफ वी कन्वर्ट इट इनटू डेसिमल फॉर्म, इट कम्स लाइक दैट. अगर हम इसको डेसिमल फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करते हैं तो ये ऐसे आ जाता है और इसको हम सीधा इससे इसकी पार वैल्यू से मल्टीप्लाई करते रहेंगे तो हमारी प्राइस कोट आती रहेगी एग्जैक्टली. It is 8,012 rupees 50 paisa. Okay, now here it is about 10,370.50. It is, sorry, it is my mistake. If it is 1 lakh, so it comes 3 lakh 7. Sorry. It is okay. 10,000. So this way go like that. There is another concept is dirty price on clean price. Dirty price and clean price difference is that clean price is normally the value of debenture. When we compute the value of any debenture or any bond, it is called our clean price because normally it is purchase price is quoted like that. But however, what happens when we make the actual purchase, then there is some element of interest is included in the same. क्लीन प्राइस का मतलब क्या रहता है कि जैसे हमने बॉन्ड की जब वैल्यू निकालते हैं तो नॉर्मली उस पर हम सेल परचेस करते हैं, या जो हमने ऊपर कोटेशन दी है ना, कोटेशन वी हैव गिवन अबाउ, हम इस पे हम प्राइस और करते हैं. लेकिन जब हम एक्चुअल में इसकी जब हम डीलिंग करेंगे, जब पेमेंट करनी होती है तो हम डाटी प्राइस करते हैं. उसका रीजन क्या होता है? क्लीन प्राइस plus accrued interest. It is more important. Clean price plus accrued interest. So it is another concept. Now next we are discussing the yield measures. Whatever जो हमने अभी चार्ट में डिस्कस करा है, मैं थोड़ा उसको यहाँ पे लिख भी देता हूँ. यील्ड में हम इसको बोलते हैं यील्ड मेजर्स. जैसे आई एम जस्ट डिस्कवरिंग यील्ड मेजर्स. यील्ड मेजर्स में देख शुरू करते हैं. Now first is called current yield. Now current yield means you simply says coupon divided by coupon payment divided by price of bond into 100. So price of bond, or you can say current market price, because जो इन्वेस्टर होगा उसको इतने पे बॉन्ड मिलेगा और उसको इतनी कूपन पेमेंट आएगी. ये डिविडेंड तो है नहीं जो फिक्स रहेगा, जो वेरी करेगा. इट विल ऑलवेज बी रिमेन फिक्स. कूपन पेमेंट हमेशा फिक्स रहती है अनलेस एंड अनटिल वो फ्लोटिंग रेट ना हो. सो स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज नोट इट इंक्लूड्स accrued interest. Yes, नम्रता it is includes accrued interest because एक्चुअल डीलिंग जो होती है इसका आपको थोड़ा सा मैं कंसेप्ट कहूँगा तो मैं आई जस्ट डाटी प्राइस में होता क्या बेटा स्टूडेंट, आई एम जस्ट रिपीटिंग हियर. नाउ सपोज आपका अगर इंटरेस्ट की डेट है आपकी, जैसे मान लीजिए गवर्नमेंट डेट सिक्योरिटीज में क्या होता है, नॉर्मल इन द गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज व्हाट हैपेंस, देयर आर दीज आर इंटरेस्ट आर पेबल सेमी एनुअली. सो जनरली उसकी जो डेट्स रहती हैं वो रहती हैं 30 जून और 31 दिसंबर मान लीजिए. प्लीज अज्यूम दैट दे आर इन गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी, देयर आर interest payments are based on a semi-annual basis. So generally interest are paid on January, say for a calendar year, 30th June and 31st December. Now, if you are buying the bond on, say, 1st September, in that case, whatever be the clean price, in addition to that, the accrued interest for the period 1st July to 31st August shall also be included. Okay, it is a major point. The same shall be included. It is so. It is very important to note that you have to, whenever any sale or purchase is taking place, this has to be taken care. Accrued interest. Now, current yield means if any investor is paying for any current market price और उसको कितना कूपन मिलता है वो उससे अपने yield निकालता है. This is called current yield. Now, question rises कि if suppose, अब मैं इसको आपको रिवर्स करके दिखाता हूं. अगर मान लीजिए कूपन rate is less than YTM. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, जब बॉन्ड होगा वो क्या होगा, डिस्काउंटेड प्राइस पे होगा और अकॉर्डिंगली जो हमारी यील्ड होगी विल बी हायर देन आवर, सॉरी मैं इसको आई रिपीट हियर जस्ट 1 सेकंड. Now, if my coupon rate is less than YTM, okay, so it will be at a discount. Okay, if it is at a discount, then my current yield will be greater than coupon rate. Because अगर आप इसमें देखिए, अगर मेरा कूपन रेट है जो वो अगर YTM से कम है, YTM से मेरे को थोड़ा सा लग रहा है, वन सेकंड स्टूडेंट, माय कूपन रेट इज लेस देन YTM, तो अकॉर्डिंगली ये किस पे रहेगा, डिस्काउंट पे रहेगी प्राइसेस. और जब डिस्काउंट पे प्राइसेस रहेगी तो मेरी करंट यील्ड क्या होगी, इट विल बी हायर देन कूपन रेट बिकॉज मेरे को डिस्काउंट पे मिल रहा है. Discounted price mean better because kya what happens when what is discounted price, say I have given you an example in my sessions. I just show it to you. I just 2 minutes, just 2 seconds, just for 2 minutes, just hold on, then I will show you about how we compute discount. Now again, next thing I am writing, coupon rate is greater than YTM. Okay, it will be sold at a premium and our current yield will be lower than our coupon rate. Now, if my coupon rate is equal to YTM, then it will be at a par and current yield will be equal to coupon rate. So, student, now I am showing what is our discounted rate. Discounted value means, students say a coupon say has been issued at 8%, okay, for 100 rupees. Now what happens after 1 year, the rate of interest say comes 9%. Okay, so now this value of bond of 100 will come down. Why? Now you see why it will come down, because now today the value will be justified 8 divided by 9 into 100. So 88 point, the value of the bond will come to 88.9, because by investing rupees 88.89 in today's market, because today's market, the in the rate of interest is 9%. So by investing 88.89 into 9%, I am getting the 8 rupees. This is the same value because of coupon of 100. So the value of coupon will be come down, value of bond will come down to, so this is called discounted prices. स्टूडेंट इस बात को देखिए, जब अगर मान लीजिए आपका एक बॉन्ड 8% पे आपने इशू करा था 100 रुपए का, और अगर मान लीजिए एक साल बाद रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट 9% आ जाता है, तो उसकी वैल्यू गिर जाती है, क्योंकि अब आपको वो है जो बॉन्ड है, अगर उस टाइप का मार्केट में बॉन्ड लेखने निकलते हैं, तो आप कहेंगे कि अगर मैं इसको 88 नवासी पैसे मैं अगर देता हूं उसके लिए, तो भी मेरे को 8 रुपए ही मिल रहे हैं, जिसके लिए मैंने 100 रुपए दे रखे थे। तो अल्टीमेटली उस बॉन्ड की वैल्यू गिर जाती है, यही बोलते हैं, दिस इज कॉल्ड डिस्काउंटेड प्राइस। नाउ नेक्स्ट कंसेप्ट इज yield to maturity. Yield to maturity, we, if you recall that, we normally used to call, what is the, Janvi is asking, sir, what is the difference between intrinsic value of bond and expected price of a bond? Student, both one and these, normally these things are same, because expected price of the bond normally we compute on the basis of YTM. And this is ultimately called the intrinsic bond. Intrinsic value means it, you can say it is a kind of a justified price. It is kind of a justified price, because YTM is the basis of the both calculations. Now next is, if you recall that YTM we used to call in intermediate level, we used to use the IRR method. Now there is one more concept that has been discussed. There is a called concept strip. Strip basically, better student, what happens? Earlier, there was a time long ago when bonds were used to be. Why is question rise relating to the? Sometimes student asks, sir, why we call it as a coupon? So the answer is that earlier, their coupon normally used whenever bonds were used to be issued. There was a perforated coupon used to be attached with the same. Okay, so say it is what first year payment, this is second year payment, that is third year payment. So whenever due date comes, the coupon is perforated coupon is teared off from it, the bond, and it is posted to the company for the payment. So it was a procedure. So that's why they used to be called coupon. पहले क्या होता था, कभी जब बॉन्ड इशू करे जाते थे तो उसमें कूपन्स लगा दिए जाते थे 3 परफोरेटेड, और जैसे ही ड्यू डेट आती थी तो पहला कूपन फाड़ा और आपने पोस्ट कर दिया कंपनी को, कंपनी आपको डिविडेंड आपको इंटरेस्ट दे देती थी, तो इसको हम बोलते थे कूपन। लेकिन जो इसका पोर्शन होता है रिमेनिंग, जो जिसको कहते हैं प्रिंसिपल रीपेमेंट, इसको हम बोलते हैं स्ट्रिप, बिकॉज ये कई बार अलग से भी सेल होता है। नाउ द पोर्शन ऑफ दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रिंसिपल रीपेमेंट इज कॉल्ड स्ट्रिप, बिकॉज इट कैन आल्सो बी dealt with in separately. In a assignment number question 6, we have been asked both intrinsic value. Better let me check the assignment. Just I will just note it down your query. After the break, I will reply your query, because right now I have to move to the assignment. Let me check. Just hold on. In assignment, in question number, just let me check. Now, student, please note here. You note that the present rate of interest is 12% and the coupon rate is 8%. Okay, better. Now here, student, please see. First, the intrinsic value. Here, the intrinsic value we shall compute by using discount, using the YTM rates that has been given here. Like it will be gone by further like this. After once we calculate the intrinsic value, the expected price is linked to the beta value of the bond. So then we, of course, you will see the answer. There is only the because in market there is another factor because of less risk. So ultimately base remains the same. That is intrinsic value. That's why I'm saying intrinsic or expected values are same unless and until any rider is attached. Here the rider is 1.02. Question number 7 of the assignment. Okay, beta. If the time will permit, of course, then I will explain the here. Otherwise, you can refer the lecture at the time because time matters a lot. Now I am coming to next term structure of the interest. Now in a term structure, YTM of different maturities are plotted on a graph. Okay, so it is called flat yield curve. It is called flat yield curve. Why it is called flat yield curve? Because either you invest in the, say, for the 3 years money, you invest for the 5 year, the interest is remain the same. That is called flat yield curve. Normally it rarely happens. Normally what is a more popular, or you can say what normally used graph is upward sloping. Why it is upward sloping? Because it is said that the investor expect the more return with the higher period. Investor expect the more return with the higher period. So as the period increases, they expect higher return because of the risk attached with the investment. Because see, he is carrying additional 2 years, so he is taking the reinvestment risk. It might be possible the interest rate rates may be increased, whatever be the happens. So they expect more. स्टूडेंट्स एक बात का ध्यान रखिए, जब हम बात करते हैं यील्ड कर्व की, जैसा कि मैंने यहाँ दिखाया है, एक तो फ्लैट यील्ड कर्व है. फ्लैट यील्ड कर्व में क्या होता है कि वो चाहे 3 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट करे, चाहे 5 साल के लिए इन्वेस्ट करे, पैसा उसको 10% जो भी फिक्स रेट है, से यहाँ पर अगर हम कहते हैं 10%, तो उसको 10% ही मिल रहा है. लेकिन जब हम बात करते हैं जो नॉर्मली होता है पॉपुलर, और वो होता है अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग यील्ड कर्व, इसमें क्या होता है कि जैसे पीरियड बढ़ता है आपका यील्ड का, तो मतलब पीरियड इसमें बॉन्ड का, तो आपकी यील्ड की एक्सपेक्टेशन भी बढ़ जाती है. सो दे स्टार्ट एक्सपेक्टिंग मोर. उसको एक्सपेक्टेशन क्यों रहती है कि वो ये कहता है कि मैं 3 से ज्यादा अगर इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूं तो 2 साल का मैं एडिशनल रिस्क कैरी कर रहा हूं, क्योंकि हो सकता है बॉन्ड का इंटरेस्ट कम हो जाए, री इन्वेस्टमेंट रिस्क, कई रिस्क होते हैं, तो मेरे को एक्सपेक्टेशन ज्यादा है. दिस इज कॉल्ड अपवर्ड यील्ड कर्व. because the risk and time value of money. Of course, time value of money we can't say because बेटा time value of money तो automatically adjust हो जाती है. मेनली क्या होता है कि जब टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी का कंसेप्ट होता है कि जब हम टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी की एक बहुत बड़ी अजम्पशन होती है कि देयर इज वन बेसिक अजम्पशन ऑफ द टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी, नॉर्मली रेट ऑफ डिस्काउंटिंग रिमेन्स द सेम. सो टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी का नहीं आएगा, इसमें मेनली री इन्वेस्टमेंट रिस्क आता है बिकॉज आफ्टर 3 years इट मे बी पॉसिबल दैट द इंटरेस्ट में रेट गो अप, go down. Risk always says it is uncertainty. It never says कि it is goes against your wish. रिस्क मतलब होता है कि आपका अनसर्टेनिटी रहती है, वो ये नहीं मतलब कि आपका कम जाएगा या ज्यादा जाएगा. तो टू कंपनसेट फॉर द री इन्वेस्टमेंट रिस्क, क्रेडिट रिस्क, मान लीजिए कल कंपनी दिवालिया हो जाती है, इट मे पॉसिबल दैट द कंपनी में बिकम इंसॉल्वेंट. So this kind of a credit risk, reinvestment risk, various kinds of risk, to this accommodate these risk in the in the bond. Normally, the investor expect more return for a longer period. Similarly, another criteria is downward. Downward generally होता है जब इकोनॉमी में थोड़ा सा रिसेशन आने वाला हो. ये downward yield curve normally indicates a recession in the economy. And because recently it has been observed, I think in case of a federal rate, it has been noted that the long duration interest was down, because I think it was some 10-year treasury rate were less than your 2-year or 3-year treasury rate. So it was this time it happened in American economy. So it is to somewhat extent it says that it is an indicator of the recession of economy. This is normally said that. Then there is a humped yield curve. It say it rises, then it like this. It is a kind of, so it is indicates that it is called humped yield curve, and it is an indication of the say uncertainty in the economy. Then there is theories of the term structure. First theory is pure expectation theory, unbiased or pure expectation theory. It is normally go by the expectations. Next is liquidity preference theory. It says liquidity risk premium. How we compute a liquidity risk premium, but here it plays the role. Whenever we go by liquidity risk premium is whenever we go by as a premium, because here what happens, suppose I give you an example. Now there are two investment. Suppose I'm sharing with you in this example I have also discussed in the class. Suppose a bond is offering 8%. Either you invest for the 3% or either you invest or you go for a 5-year. You can there is a bond that is giving only the yield of 8%, and either you go for a 3-year or either you go for a 5-year. So of course you will buy the bonds for the 3-year, because here you get the liquidity benefit. In case if you need the money after 3 years, so you can get it redeemed. Students, लिक्विडिटी प्रेफरेंस का होता क्या है कि जब डाउन आल्सो इनवर्स, यस मनीषा, इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड इनवर्स यील्ड कर्व। लिक्विडिटी रिस्क का फंडा क्या इसका फंडा क्या रहता है कि जब आपने, अगर मान लीजिए आपको एक बॉन्ड कहते हैं कि आप 8% का बॉन्ड है, आपको जो यील्ड देगा, आप चाहे इसको 3% ईयर के लिए इन्वेस्ट कर लो या 5 ईयर के लिए इन्वेस्ट कर लो, तो ऑफकोर्स आप कहोगे कि भाई मैं तो इसको 3 ईयर के लिए इन्वेस्ट करूंगा, क्योंकि 3 ईयर के बाद कम से कम अगर मुझे पैसे की जरूरत पड़ती है तो मैं उसको अपने उस बॉन्ड को भुना सकता हूँ और उस पैसे को यूज कर सकता हूँ। अगर मैंने 5 साल के लिए कर दिया तो मेरा पैसा 5 साल के लिए रुक जाएगा। तो जो 3 साल के से लेकर 5 साल तक का बेनिफिट है उसकी लिक्विडिटी का और तरलता का जो उसका बेनिफिट है, वो इसको यहाँ पे मिलेगा, तो उसका लाभ उसको भी मिलेगा। तो इसलिए अगर वो उसको कहता है कि भाई मुझे 5 साल लेना है, आप 5 साल इन्वेस्ट कीजिए, तो वो इस तरलता को खोने के लिए प्रीमियम एक्सपेक्ट करेगा, जिसको हम लिक्विडिटी प्रीमियम कहेंगे। तो स्टूडेंट प्लीज नोट दैट इफ द बॉन्ड इन्वेस्टर इज आस्क्ड ओके to invest for the 5 years, so he will expect some liquidity risk premium for this 2 years. So this is the basis of that theory. Next is preferred habitat theory. Now it is basically based on the preference. It is based on the preference. Sometimes what happens in a market, it may be possible that the demand for the long-term bonds may be more than your short-term bonds. So of course, it will be it may be possible that your slope will be the upward sloping, but it may also be reverse. The demand for the short-term bonds may be lower, may be higher than the longer-term bonds. So in that case, what happens? The curve will be the inward yield curve, because the premium for the premium, or you can say the yield for the normal this demand or supply, you will be the, you can say that the rate of the short term will be the more. So in that case, it also determines the structure. What is pure expectation theory? Namrata beta, pure expectation theory means we can say that it is based on our expectation. Market will rise or market will fall. So we can say that market will rise. Suppose if we are expecting that market, the interest rate are going to fall in the future. So of course we will start investing more in our short-term instruments. Okay, when short-term instrument, we are start buying more short-term instruments, of course the interest yield will be start going, because the more are taken. And if opposite happens, then reverse. If we start investing for more of the long-term securities, so we are pumping the money more for the long term. So this is based on this expectation. What is our expectation from the market? Now next is spot rate curves. Now spot rate curves is normally linked to your zero coupon bonds, because in zero coupon bonds they don't pay the coupon. Of course they pay the interest, but that is in the form of capital gain, because they are issued at a discounted value and they are redeemed at par. So that's why normally they are called the curve that shows the yield on a zero coupon bond, that is called spot rate curve. And one more important point, the process of कंस्ट्रक्टिंग a zero coupon bond curve or spot rate curve from coupon bearing bond is called bootstrapping. बूटस्ट्रैपिंग का कंसेप्ट आपका उसमें भी डिस्कस होता है मर्जर एक्विजिशन में। जैसे इसमें मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं यहाँ पे। मान लीजिए 2 ईयर का इन्वेस्टमेंट होराइजन है, द इन्वेस्टमेंट होराइजन ऑफ 2 ईयर्स। जो 1 ईयर का रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है मान लीजिए वो है 7%। सो नाउ क्वेश्चन राइजेस, आफ्टर 1 ईयर what will be the rate for the 2 year? What will be the rate for the after 1 year? What will be the rate for the 1 year? So we can call it as like 1:2. So हम इसको कैसे, अब देखिए मैं आपको इसका बताता हूं कैसे यील्ड कर्व से हम एक्सपेक्ट कर्व रेट निकाले जाते हैं। क्योंकि जैसे अगर आपका मान लीजिए इन्वेस्टमेंट होराइजन 2 साल का है और 1 साल का मेरे को रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पता है, तो मैं आज से 1 साल के बाद 1 साल का रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट क्या रहेगा वो भी कंप्यूट कर सकता हूं इस फार्मूले से। जैसे देखिए मान लीजिए इसका फार्मूला क्या मतलब है, मान लीजिए मैं आपको बताता हूं, अगर मैंने आज 1,000 रुपया इन्वेस्ट किया तो, और मान लीजिए, सॉरी मैं एक चीज लिखना भूल गया, अगर मान लीजिए ये है 8%। सिंपल लॉजिक मैं आपको नाउ आई एम गिविंग logically I am just explaining it to you. Suppose rate of interest for the 1 year is 7%, and if you make the investment for the 2 years, your rate will be the 8%. So from this I can compute the value rate of interest after 1 year for the 1 year. तो मैं इस रेट को निकाल सकता हूं। कैसे निकालता हूं वो देखिए, if I invest for the 2 years, my value of money after 1 year will 2 years will be this. If I invest the money for the 1 year, the value of money will be this. Accordingly, अब मैं इसको निकालने के लिए क्या करता हूं, मैं इसको डिवाइड कर देता हूं और -1 कर देता हूं। तो जो मेरे वैल्यू आएगी वो देखते हैं हम। तो ये वैल्यू आ जाती है लगभग 9.01%। तो जो 1 साल का ये इंटरेस्ट रहेगा 1 साल के बाद वो रहेगा 9.01%। और इसके थ्रू हम आर्बिट्राज अपॉर्चुनिटी भी जियोपॉलिटिकल टाइम में, यस ऑफ कोर्स बेटा Manisha, geopolitical tension can also impact our pure expectation. Now, with this, we can also have the arbitrage opportunity, because arbitrage opportunity में क्या से मिलता है। अब मान लीजिए मैं आपको इसका एग्जांपल देता हूं, अगर मान लीजिए आपको एक इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है, आपसे कहा जाता है कि आज से 1 साल के बाद 1 साल का रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मान लीजिए 11% है। Okay, I'm just showing you how arbitrage opportunity comes. Suppose if the rate of it is said that after 1 year the rate of there is an investment opportunity that gives you an opportunity to earn at 11% after 1 year for 1 year. So what you do, you borrow at 8%. Okay, if you borrow say 1,000 rupees, so after 2 years your payment will be this much. स्टूडेंट जरा इसको ध्यान से देखिए, मैं आपको इसको शो कर रहा हूं। अगर मान लीजिए आपको आर्बिट्रेज अपॉर्चुनिटी कैसे काम करती है कि अगर मान लीजिए आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है कि 1 साल के बाद 1 साल तक का इंटरेस्ट जो रहेगा वो 11% पे आप इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो आर्बिट्रेज अपॉर्चुनिटी कैसे काम करेगी, आप 1,000 रुपए को बोरो कर देंगे 2 साल के लिए, किस पे? जो रेट आपका मिला हुआ है, ये ना 8% वाला। अब इसके बाद अगर आपने इसको कर भी लिया, तो आपको अल्टीमेटली पेमेंट कितनी करनी है? आप सब कुछ मिलाकर 1160, ठीक है ना, 1166 रुपए। नाउ अगर आप इसको देखिए, पहले साल में आप इन्वेस्ट करेंगे 7% से, ठीक है। तो आपने पहले साल में इन्वेस्ट करा 1,000 रुपया, 1 साल के बाद उसकी वैल्यू आ जाती है 10,070, ठीक है। अब आप 10,070 को फर्दर इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं कितने पे? 11% पे। तो इसकी वैल्यू देखिए कितनी आती है। तो आप अल्टीमेटली देखिए कितना कमा रहे हैं, 1187 रुपए 70 पैसे। नाउ स्टूडेंट यू सी हाउ मच वी आर अर्निंग 1187.70। ऑफ कोर्स आई विल रिपे दिस 1166, so my opportunity income arbitrage gain will be 187.70 minus 6.4, 11.30. So this will be my gain, arbitrage gain. So we can also earn this. This is and this concept is more relevant in case of your forward rate agreement when we will discuss the topic of interest rate risk management. One second, students. Yes, Namartha, you are right. Now next comes the concept of convertible debenture or convertible bonds. Normally in a question we can both way. As you we know that there is a hardly any from financial angle. There is not any difference between our bond or debenture. There is only because of some provision of, like, say, collateral issue, etc. Otherwise, from financial angle, there is no difference. Now, convertible debenture can be of two types. One is compulsory, another is voluntary. Now, in convertible compulsory it means you have to get it compulsory converted. Voluntary, it means up to your option. Now, when we talk about convertible debenture, three related concepts are related with it. Student, when we talk about convertible debenture, because debenture means you can go for a plain redemption. If I am holding a debenture, I get a coupon payment. Then after the maturity, I will get at the time of maturity, I will get the principal repayment back. So if the discounted value of this is called state value, yeah, intrinsic value or fair value or floor value, because the value of debenture is not going to below this. स्टूडेंट्स, एक बात का ध्यान रखिए, जब हम कन्वर्टेबल डिवेंचर की बात करते हैं तो कन्वर्टेबल डिवेंचर का एक एस्पेक्ट ये रहता है कि आपको इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट तो मिलनी है, कूपन पेमेंट तो मिलेगी, और एक टाइम के बाद आपको प्रिंसिपल रीपेमेंट भी मिल जाएगी। मतलब आपका जो भी मूलधन है वो भी आपको वापस दिया जाएगा। तब आपको जब आप उसको देखेंगे कि मेरे को ब्याज भी मिल रहा है, मूलधन भी मेरे को वापस मिल रहा है, तो आप उसको जब डिस्काउंट करते हैं यील्ड से, तो वो आपकी वैल्यू बनती है स्ट्रेट वैल्यू, जिसको हम बोलते हैं इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू या फेयर वैल्यू, और इसको हम बोलते हैं फ्लोर वैल्यू, फ्लोर प्राइस या फ्लोर वैल्यू बोलते हैं। उससे कम तो आप एक्सपेक्ट कर ही नहीं सकते। अगर आपने बोल्ड को कन्वर्ट भी नहीं कराया, आपने सिर्फ होल्ड करके रख लिया, तो भी उसकी वैल्यू से कम नहीं जाएगी। नेक्स्ट उसका आता है कन्वर्जन वैल्यू। अगर आपने कन्वर्जन का रूट लिया तो उसकी वैल्यू क्या बनती है, बिकॉज उससे आप क्या करते हैं, इक्विटी शेयर में कन्वर्ट करा के मार्केट में बेच सकते हैं। तो कन्वर्जन वैल्यू देखेंगे, और एक इसमें नाउ conversion value implies whenever you because this conversion aspect gives the right to the bondholder to get converted them into equity shares and sold in the market. So this gives you the value, provide you the value. You will see the what will be the conversion value of this bond. Next is option value. Option value means it gives you a right or a choice, not an compulsion. It is particularly in a voluntary case. This option value is linked to your case of voluntary. ये वॉलेंट्री से लिंक्ड है, कंपल्सरी से लिंक नहीं है, क्योंकि इसमें आपके पास राइट और चॉइस है। कन्वर्जन कराने का आप कराना चाहते हो कराओ, नहीं कराना चाहते तो मत कराइए। नाउ वी डिस्कस द, जस्ट नोट इट डाउन, इट इज द पीवी ऑफ, ओके। कन्वर्जन वैल्यू, अगर आपने इसको मान लीजिए मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ ईच शेयर इनटू द कन्वर्जन रेशो, तो बॉन्ड की वैल्यू ये भी है, ये भी है, और साथ में इसकी कौन सी वैल्यू होती है, ऑप्शन वैल्यू। अब आप देखिए कि इसमें आपके पास ये इससे रिलेटेड कंसेप्ट है, ये भी वैल्यू आपके पास है और ये भी वैल्यू आपके पास है। ये तब है जब आप इसको मैच्योरिटी तक होल्ड करते हैं, और ये जब है जब आप इसको कन्वर्ट करा देते हैं, तो ये आपसे लिंक, इनसे लिंक रहती है। Now, students, some concepts related to conversion I'm not discussing here, repeating it, but you can refer. I'm just jotting down their important points. Straight value of bond, PV of interest plus PV of principal repayment, that I have covered. Then it comes conversion value. Conversion ratio means one debenture of bond will be converted in how much share. कन्वर्जन रेशियो का मतलब क्या है कि एक बॉन्ड और डिबेंचर कितने शेयर्स में कन्वर्ट होगा। Then next come market conversion price. Now, student, in this formula, please note, normally this price is computed when we are taking the route to for acquiring the share of the convertible debentures. यह हम तब निकालते हैं जब हम कन्वर्टेबल डिबेंचर का रूट ले रहे हैं किसके लिए, इक्विटी शेयर एक्वायर करने के लिए। अगर मान लीजिए मार्केट में अवेलेबल नहीं है तो इट मे बी पॉसिबल। तो देखिए इसमें हम क्या करते हैं, डिवाइड बाय कन्वर्जन रेशो। मान लीजिए एक डिबेंचर आज की डेट में मार्केट में 1300 रुपए का है, जो आपको राइट देता है 10 इक्विटी शेयर में कन्वर्ट होने के लिए। तो आपका जो प्राइस पर शेयर पड़ेगा आपको कितना पड़ेगा, 130 रुपया। नाउ सपोज इफ द convertible debenture price is 1300, which gives a right you to get equity 10 equity shares. So what will be the cost your per equity share is 130 simply. Now suppose if we compute conversion premium, market conversion price minus अगर मान लीजिए मैं इसी एग्जांपल को लेता हूं, 130 की पर डे है लेकिन अभी मार्केट में प्राइस 120 है, तो मैं 10 रुपया का प्रीमियम दे रहा हूं पर शेयर के लिए, किसके लिए, कन्वर्जन रूट लेने के लिए। नाउ सपोज इफ करंट मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ द सेम बॉन्ड is 120, bond not bond per equity share is 120 in the market, so I am paying rupees 10 per equity share or as a premium for adopting the conversion route to acquire the shares. Normally this is expressed in terms of premium. Ratio of conversion premium. Now it says ki how much percent I am paying extra. So in our earlier example, it will be 10 divided by 12. 10 divided by, so it point. Now next is premium over straight value. Now student, because we are paying premium over the straight value means our discounted value of the bond. Say now student, please note straight value means it is without, suppose if we cannot, you cannot get it converted then what will be the justified price of the same bond. So this is called state value. स्टूडेंट एक बात क्या रखिए, स्टेट वैल्यू का मतलब ये है कि अगर आपको बॉन्ड में कन्वर्जन का ऑप्शन नहीं है तो उसकी वैल्यू क्या बनती है आज के वाईटीएम के हिसाब से, वही है, वही आपने यहाँ पे दिखानी है, क्योंकि तभी आपको पता लगेगा कि मैं कितना प्रीमियम दे रहा हूँ. सो ओनली देन यू कैन केम टू नो हाउ मच प्रीमियम आई एम पेइंग. तो लेसर इट इज, गुड इट इज. Okay, student, just try to one thing. One second, students. Now, student, please note here. This is basically, we can say that favorable income differential per share means, because see what happens when you carry the bond or normally it carries a more, it carries a coupon interest, and normally in maximum cases the coupon interest are higher than your dividend payment. Just I show you by because what happens, होता क्या है स्टूडेंट, एक बात को नोट कीजिए, जब भी जो कूपन पेमेंट होता है ये हमेशा ज्यादातर ज्यादा ही रहता है आपके डिविडेंड पेमेंट से. तो अगर मान लीजिए आपने डिविडेंड का कन्वर्जन का ऑप्शन लेते हैं तो आप एक तरह से कूपन को छोड़ेंगे, कूपन को. तो उससे आपको ये पता लगेगा कि एक शेयर पे मेरे को अल्टीमेटली मैं कितना लूज कर रहा हूं, या इसको हम कह सकते हैं कि जो मैं बॉन्ड कैरी कर रहा हूं कन्वर्टेबल बॉन्ड, उस पर मुझे ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट कितना मिलता है. I just I think is I have to add some slide. One second, student. Okay, student. I think we can take a small break. Then once I come back, I discuss with you. Ashok ji. Thank you. Okay, welcome back, students. As earlier we were discussing the favorable income differential per share. Now let us see how we compute the same. Coupon interest minus conversion ratio into dividend per share divided by conversion ratio. यहाँ पे एक चीज देखिए स्टूडेंट, एक्चुअली में होता क्या है कि जनरली कूपन इंटरेस्ट हमेशा ज्यादा ही रहता है और डिविडेंड थोड़ा कम रहता है। तो एक तरह से जो कन्वर्टेबल डिबेंचर को हम ले रहे हैं उसमें एक तरह से कुछ प्रीमियम पे कर रहे हैं शेयर के लिए। तो दैट इज कॉल्ड फेवरेबल इनकम डिफरेंशियल पर शेयर। दैट इज कॉल्ड फेवरेबल इनकम डिफरेंशियल पर शेयर। नेक्स्ट इज अवर प्रीमियम, या अगर प्रीमियम पेबैक पीरियड प्रीमियम पेबैक पीरियड का मतलब मीनिंग होता है टिपिकली इन हाउ मेनी टाइम वी कैन से द डिविडेंड, वी कैन से whatever the premium we are paying, we are market conversion premium we have computed earlier, in how much time it will be come back to us. Okay, so the formula is market conversion premium per share divided by favorable income differential per share, because we have paid some premium. Next is premium over state value, means if we are paying some premium, market price Okay, so student, now we are coming to the end of this concept of convertible venture. Now I am discussing one more important with you point, like what are the different risks, etc. So you can refer the same from our previous lecture. Now one more important thing I would like to discuss with you is the duration of bond, because normally it is very important from your theoretical as well as numerical point of view. Now duration of bond is basically the time period is taken by a bond to recoup or return the money to the investor. In case of a coupon bond, normally the period is lesser, and very true, if the coupon rate are higher, the lesser will be the duration of the bond, and similarly the higher will be the risk also, that I will show you. And in case of a zero coupon bond, the duration as a maturity will remain the same. स्टूडेंट, अब मैं आपसे जो डिस्कस करने जा रहा हूं कंसेप्ट, वो है ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द बॉन्ड, जो थियोरेटिकल एज वेल एज न्यूमेरिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ड्यूरेशन ऑफ बॉन्ड की अगर हम बात करते तो यह वह समय है जिसके भीतर एक इन्वेस्टर को, एक निवेशक को अपने बॉन्ड में लगाए हुए पैसे वापस मिल जाते हैं। और सबसे जरूरी बात, अगर वह बॉन्ड कूपन बॉन्ड है तो उसका जो समय है वह हमेशा उसके मैच्योरिटी पीरियड से हमेशा कम रहेगा। दूसरी जरूरी बात, जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड का पीरियड और ड्यूरेशन, उसका मैच्योरिटी पीरियड और उसका जो समय है वापस आने का, वो हमेशा सेम रहता है। तो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट। नाउ हाउ लेट अस सी हाउ वी use this concept for computing the volatility of the bond। यह बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट है और अब हम ये देखेंगे कि हम इस ड्यूरेशन को कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं बॉन्ड का रिस्क निकालने के लिए, बॉन्ड की वॉलेटिलिटी निकालने के लिए। वन सेकेंड। Now let us see the formula for computing the bond. This formula has already been discussed in your sessions, so you can, for details, you can refer the lectures. Okay, students, आप देखेंगे स्टडी मटेरियल में हमने थोड़ा डिफरेंट अप्रोच ले रखी है। आप चाहे इस अप्रोच से करें या उस अप्रोच से करें, आंसर विल बी द सेम। स्टूडेंट, प्लीज नोट दैट इन द स्टडी मटेरियल देयर इज अ डिफरेंट अप्रोच। Either you follow this approach or that approach in study material, the answer will be the same. So nothing to worry. In examination, you have to follow only one approach. Now we come to volatility or the volatility of a bond. Because for this, we need to calculate modified duration. Now, student, very important. This duration concept has been invented by Macaulay somewhere in 1938 or 39 somewhere. So they has computed, that's why it is called Macaulay duration. For modified duration, the formula is duration upon में 1 plus YTM upon में n is equal to compounding in the year. Namarta beta, compound volatility of the bond means how much value of the bond will vary with the change in the YTM. Student, very good question. नम्रता has asked a very good question. स्टूडेंट, नम्रता ने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है कि बॉन्ड की वॉलेटिलिटी क्या होती है। बॉन्ड की वॉलेटिलिटी क्या होती है? बॉन्ड की वॉलेटिलिटी होती है कि बॉन्ड की प्राइस कितनी चेंज करेगी 1% चेंज YTM चेंज होने पे। वॉलेटिलिटी ऑफ द बॉन्ड मींस हाउ मच प्राइस ऑफ द बॉन्ड विल वेरी कंसिक्वेंट अपॉन द चेंज ऑफ 1% in YTM. Okay, compounding in the year. For example, in case of semi-annual, so duration will be in the 6 months. How many 6 months are there? Upon 1 plus YTM, that will be also semi-annual, that will be annual, and we divide it by the 2. Okay, that we will divide by the 2 because YTM is always year based. YTM is always year based. Okay, change in the price of bond. Please note that this sign will always be negative. Accordingly, if YTM goes up, this is a change in YTM. If it goes up, the value of the bond will be goes down. And if the YTM goes down, of course, it will be negative. Change in YTM will be negative. Then negative means it will become positive. एक चीज का ध्यान रखिए, ये साइन हमेशा नेगेटिव रहेगा. अगर YTM बढ़ती है तो बॉन्ड की वैल्यू गिरेगी, और अगर YTM घटती है तो नेगेटिव मिलकर पॉजिटिव हो जाएंगे, यानी कि बॉन्ड की वैल्यू बढ़ेगी. Now there is another concept, convexity. Now convexity means what happens. I'll just show you. Now student, normally what happens, the bond theory assumes that, or modified duration that we have discussed, it assumes that there is a linear relationship between the interest rate and the prices of the bond. However, when we compute the practically, there is a kind of a convexity in the prices. So this impact is called convexity impact. We have to make adjustment of the same. And accordingly, there is a formula for adjusting the convexity. One second. This formula I am just writing it down. This has been shown in the page number 4.22 of the study material. I am reproducing here. Convexity impact. C star is equal to okay. So basically, this is the value of bond if yield goes up by this much, okay, and V0 is initial price of bond. Okay, student. So this is a concept of convexity. We have to make adjustment, and it is always noted that convexity shall always be positive. Because you see here, this is a positive value, this is a positive value. So this always will remain the positive. This is very important to note. Okay, students. So with this, we are coming to the end of our revision of the last two classes. Now there is one more concept relating to fixed income securities that I have discussed in the beginning is money market concept. When we talk about the money market concepts, money market is basically a short-term instrument. We can call them the short-term instrument, and they have some features, etc. Normal, like they are very short duration, and they are normally in dealing in the money market instruments are carried on by the banks, financial institutions, and big investment houses like your pension funds, etc. Rare investment by retail investor is quite very scarce, very least. So when we talk about the money market instrument, the one thing it comes to in our mind is government securities. Okay, let me just. I'm just taking to another slide. 1 second. When we talk about government securities, major in this, we can say that they are divided into three categories. One is dated government securities. These are issued by central government, and normally their period are say about 30 years. Then these are treasury bill issued by central government, and normally their period are say 14 days, 91 days, and 182 days. And since these are issued by central government, they are normally considered very risk-free. And that's why you will see that whenever we have in most of the question, when we have to consider the risk-free rate, normally the treasury bill rate of risk return is considered as a risk-free rate. Students, एक बात का ध्यान रखिए, जो डेटेड गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, अगर हम गवर्नमेंट से पहले जो मनी मार्केट इंस्ट्रूमेंट की बात करते हैं, तो उसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आता है गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, और उसमें सबसे पहले होती है डेटेड गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, जिसमें जिनका ड्यूरेशन जनरली 30 साल के आसपास का होता है, और इसमें कूपन पेमेंट होती है. कूपन पेमेंट ज्यादातर सेमी एनुअल होती है. और दूसरे आते हैं कैटेगरी ट्रेजरी बिल, जिसमें जिनकी ड्यूरेशन नॉर्मली 14 डेज, 91 डेज और 182 डेज होती है. इसकी खासियत ये होती है कि यह एक रिस्क फ्री होता है, क्योंकि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इशू करता है. इसलिए आपने देखा होगा जो क्वेश्चंस वगैरह हमने कर रहे हैं पीछे, उसमें क्या करते हैं कि अगर रिस्क फ्री रेट ऑफ रिटर्न लेना होता है तो हम क्या करते हैं, ट्रेजरी बिल का रेट भी ले लेते हैं. तो दिस इज इक्वल टू, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज नॉर्मली बहुत मोर पॉपुलरली यूज्ड. Now next we come to another state government securities. These are issued by the state governments, but more popular instruments or investments are central government and treasury bill. These bills, treasury bills are normally used for parking the money for the short term. Now let us start with the and other, there are some instruments. 1 second. Then other financial money market instruments are like commercial papers, call money. Let us discuss each one by one. Now, students, these are the some features of the money market instruments, like short duration, large volume, deregulated rate of interest. It is meaning that normally the rate of interest are carried on by the market forces. The instruments highly liquid. Secondary market is good for these instruments are good and safe investment owing to issuer inherent financial strength. So normally money market instruments are issued by the financially strengthened organizations. We shall see some even some instruments issued by the private business houses or private corporate houses. Still they are safe. Now, first instrument that has been discussed in our study material, this is call money. It is normally used by the scheduled banks where they lend or borrow the money overnight. What happens or for a short period? Now, if say the money is used for the overnight, it is called notice money. When it is for the duration, say up to the 14 days, it is called call money. Okay. So normally for the even 2 days. So that's why it is normally used by the banks. Now next is treasury bills that we have discussed, and normally it is used by the banks for the asset liability management. All these is from your study material slides. There is nothing new, so you don't to note down anything. All has been prepared from your study material. Now, very important feature of money market instrument that these are issued at the discounted value. Most of the money market instruments are issued at a discounted value and they are redeemed at a fair value. And that's why what happens, we can calculate the yield with the help of the following formula. Face value, issue price or purchase price divided by purchase price into 365 upon my M. M is the actual days of maturity. So by this, because normally what happens in the most of the this instruments, money market instrument, and what is the major difference between bond valuation and the valuation of money market instrument? In bond valuation, normally the discounting is done with the YTM. Here, nothing specially done is for the discounting. Here, normally we calculate the yield. So this is a major difference. Next is commercial bills. Commercial bill is basically bill of exchange. If you recall that, normally what happens, bills raised out of genuine commercial transactions can be discounted with the bank, and even bank can also use them, say selling to the other party. So there is a active market for the same, those who can purchase it for the short term. So in that case, what happens, the normally bank takes the bill at a discounted price. Okay, they give the discounted value to the seller of the bill, and whenever the seller is supposed to pay the full amount of the bill. Okay, normally the period between the ranging from 3 months to 6 months. Next comes certificate of deposit. These are issued by the banks, and generally there are two categories where the negotiable, or you can say certificate of deposit. These are certificate of deposit are normally at a discounted value, whereas in case of negotiated certificate of deposit, they can be issued at a par value, then interest can be added to the same. So like certificate of commercial bills, they are front-ended negotiable. Front-ended means the instruments are issued at a discounted price. Issued at a discounted front-ended. Then most important comes the commercial paper. Now commercial paper are like instruments. They are normally issued by the corporate houses. The period range from the 7 days to 1 year. CP is issued at a discount to the face value. Now we can compute the yield similar as we have computed in the treasury bill. That is face value, sale price divided by number of days in a year, month, and this. Same formula will be used. This is a common formula for maximum almost every money market instruments. So with this student, I am now switching over to the assignment that has been uploaded. I am solving the questions of the same. I hope assignment must be with you. Now I am solving their questions. अशोक जी, हाँ मैं स्विच कर रहा हूँ इस पे. Ashok ji, screen is visible. Okay. Okay, student, I am starting with the question number 1 of assignment. It says like that RBI sold 91 days T-bill face value 100 at a yield of 6%. What was the issue price? Okay, now we are using the same formula. Here yield has been given to us, so we consider it as like that 6% is equal to face value. Now sale price is unknown. $365 upon 91 into 100. So the value will come like this. Okay, student. If any student has any doubt, it is a very simple question. Now we are coming to the second question. I am reading the question. Wonderland Limited has excess cash of rupees 20 lakh, which it wants to invest in short-term marketable securities. So it means they are interested in parking funds for short time or duration. Expense relating to investment will be rupees 50,000. The securities invested will have an annual yield of 9%. The company seek your advice as to the period of investment so as to earn pre-tax income of 5%. The minimum period for the company to break even its investment expenditure time, time value of money. Over. Okay. So let us see first part. Company require pre-tax income of 5%. Okay, now we solve like that. Let P be the period of investment required. Okay, for 5% of rupees. This. It means rupees 1 lakh to earn 1 lakh pre-tax income, because here the tax rate has not been given to you, but if it has been given, then you will compute it accordingly. Minus how much expenditure is there? 50,000. Okay, so my required income is rupees 1 lakh. The answer will be now suppose if the tax rate is 50% and both these are deductible, then what will be the answer? Accordingly, my pre-tax income will be doubled. That is 2 lakh will be required. So accordingly, my solution will be like that. Okay, now let us compute. One second, just it. One second, students. So it will be 16.67 months. Okay, student, now it will be clear to you if tax has been given to you. Now next is break even. Is investment expenditure. Minus rupees, or we can write it like that. Okay, so the answer will be okay. Student is saying my voice is not clear. Let me check. One second, students. Namata, I think my voice is clear. Ashokji, my voice is clear or there is some issue? Echo आ रहा है. One second. One second, I do it. अभी भी आ रहा है? अशोक जी अभी भी आ रहा है? Okay, student, what I do, I solve the question. Then when I will stop my sharing this screen, then certainly I will clear your doubts. Okay, just 2 minutes, 5 minutes more. Okay. Okay, student. Now this we have got the value 3.33. Now we are coming to the question number. Next question. The question says like that. Jet Company Limited issued commercial paper worth rupees 10 crore as per the following detail. This is the date of issue. This is the date of maturity. So somewhere it is around, say, 3 months. It is 91 days. The interest rate is 12%, 12.0. So what is the net amount received by the company on issue of the commercial paper? Charges of the may be ignored. Here, since it is a front-end instrument, what we do, we compute the discounted value. We can do by the two ways. Accordingly, the discounted value will be 10 crore into okay. So this will be the interest amount. One second. Okay. Alternatively, it can be computed as follows. Okay, student. Normally, this formula is more popular, and these are normally used. Now I come back to the last question of the assignment. Just read the question carefully. In this question says, Bank A enters into repo for a 14 days. Now, what we call repo? Repo means repurchase agreement. Okay, so repurchase agreement means what happens? I think it has been missed out on my slide. Repurchase agreement means or is repurchase option. In this case, normally what happens? This is kind of a financing arrangement of the banks with the central bank. Whenever any bank needs a fund, they give the collateral or they give the sell the security to the central bank with the promise that they will buy it back. So of course, when they sell it, they are sold at a discounted value, and when they are purchased back, they are purchased back at a higher value. So the difference is the income of the central bank. Similarly, reverse repo means when bank have short-term funds, have surplus funds, they can invest it over the short term with the banks, central bank. That is called reverse repo. Now question rises, sometimes it says, what is, and this rate keeps on changing. Please remember this rate keeps on changing. So it has come out, RBI comes out with these rates, and even these rates also forms a basis of the other rates, because this is sometimes considered as a benchmark rate. So bank A enters bank B with the further 10%. Now here the collateral, it is very important. There is one term, bank rate. Bank rate means when any borrowing is not supported by collateral. If it is supported by collateral, so of course it is a kind of a repo arrangement. But once it is not supported by any collateral, it is called bank rate. Now the rate is 5.65% for 8 crore rupees, assuming that the clean price, the price at which does not accrue the interest. So clean price means current market price of the bond will be 99.42 and initial margin of 2%, and days of accrued interest is this. So this days indicate that 262 days have already been passed from the last payment of interest or coupon. You are required to determine first dirty price. So that is called, compute the dirty price means clean price plus accrued interest. This will be your clean price. Okay, or we need to mention this. Now accrued interest is face value is 100. Okay, let's remove it. Since it is a 10% government securities and 262 days have been left, here 360 days have been given. Now students, sometimes it comes into the doubt of the mind of the student, sir, whether we should consider 365 days or 360 days. Now student, in this regard, please always note, if nothing has been mentioned, you are free to take any rate. But if any hint has been given in the question, so please follow that. Okay. Now let us see how the repo transaction takes place. There are always two aspects. One is selling, another is buying back. So selling the securities with a promise is called first leg. Okay, now how much value will be received or how much fund will be received? Nominal value. Okay, the amount is 8 crore. Market price is 106. Huh? Okay, so this margin is basically also called the haircut, because generally this margin is taken care of. We can say that it is kind of a tool compensation for loss in the value of the collateral. Okay. Now our proceed is this much we have borrowed into 1 plus repo rate is this much. So by paying back this amount, the bank will get back its securities. So repayment at maturity. Okay, student. Now I hope with this assignment, the some questions that has been left in the previous session on the bond valuation has been almost it is complete. Now, still, if you have any doubt, you can discuss me over the telephone. Okay, or you can write us an email. I am writing down the email ID. Okay, or you can contact me over the telephone. So with this, we come to the end of this session, and whatever discussed in our previous 3 lectures on the bond valuation, you can refer the same. And today's in class, whatever we have covered, you can revise the same from this class also. So I hope with this, the topic of concept of fixed income security, you can say valuation of fixed income security must be very clear to you. Okay, student, practice as much as question you can do, and we can please thorough with your concepts so that in examination, whatever type of question comes, you can face the same. Okay, student, thanks a lot for patience listening. Have a nice day. Thank you. Ashok ji, session is over. Okay.